Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for July 10th to the 17th, 2026. If you're new here, hi, you're most welcome. My name is Titania, and I will be the channel for the information we are pulling in collectively because you are not passive here. Our asking is what draws the information through, and I'm glad you're here to add your energy and asking to mine so that we can collectively pull through what we most need to know for this week ahead. I invite you to close your eyes and let's take 3 nice deep breaths together to get our energy into sync across time and space. Coming home to that beautiful body. Dropping into this present moment as you come home to yourself. And with that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going deep down into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment. Knowing that this tree root is not only anchoring you and grounding you, but it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania, and I am here with all of your children now and in the future as we co-create this reading of the week for July 10th to the 17th, 2026. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate our exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and the best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd like to acknowledge the overlighting devas of all of us, the land where we find ourselves, the organizing intelligence of these places that hold us and support us and protect us and care for us, especially the energy of Heart's home, my home. That is my partner in crime, so to speak. I am so grateful for all that I receive from this land that supports me and my family in the most beautiful way possible. Thank you. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of insight, of transformation, of peace. That we cover what is uppermost for us in the best way possible as we focus together this week. And anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. And with that, let's get into this week's reading, shall we? I wish you were here so you could smell the peas, the sweet peas. They are magnificent. What a blessing flowers are. Okay, Creator. We are into another week to come. And what is it that we need to know, please, in service to our personal good and our collective highest and greatest good, so that we can use this information to be at our best, to rise a little higher, to have the distinctions and insights we need to be who we need to be in service to the highest and greatest good for ourselves, for those we love, for our communities, and the world. Okay, so this week, we are starting with the Devil, Major Arcana. So the position is past. It's information from our past that's important and relevant now. And this is the card. It can be the card of addiction. It can be the card of avoidance, of distraction, of things we do to ourselves, like an addiction to avoid what needs attention. It is often portrayed as an angel peering out from behind the mask of the devil, which is reminding us that everything that we live and experience is really in service to us. It's all an opportunity for us to rise. Even the devil is creating strong contrast and pushing us Are we going to succumb to the distraction, to the addiction, to the slide down rather than the movement up? Because contrast helps us to clarify what we prefer. We can get stuck complaining about what we don't like. We can wallow in that hole for a long time. And let's face it, as humans, we often do, and it's okay. But ultimately, at some point, we have to stop and go, is this really serving me? Because one can spend a whole lifetime focused on what isn't working and what terrible thing happened to us and make oneself a victim for the rest of one's experience. But that's not why we're here. We're here to take every opportunity to rise, to become more, to say, yeah, maybe that did happen to me. And now I know what I want. I know that when someone was unkind to me, I want to be kinder. When someone was cruel to me, I want to be a safe place for someone else. And we know those distinctions deeply in our field. And as a result, we can be a clearing in somebody else's life in a good way. We can use those harsh, difficult things that we've lived through and become better people as a result. Move our lives forward in beautiful ways rather than wasting our energy dwelling on what did happen once upon a time. This card is reminding us that this is the time we're living in on the planet. It's no longer good for us to continually focus on what is dysfunctional and not working and stay there and complain about it and wallow in it. It's time for us to say, okay, what do we know now? We've had leaders that haven't served us. We live with systems and institutions that no longer serve us. What do we know? Well, we know that we want to be honored. We want to be loved. We want to be cared for. We want to take care of this planet because we're not separate from this planet. This planet takes care of us. And if we're poisoning her waters, if we're poisoning her land, if we're poisoning our bodies, we need to do things differently because we can't rise and be healthy and strong if we're continually poisoning ourselves, whether that's on the planetary level or within in our own personal bodies. So this card of the devil is an opportunity for us to take all of that intensity and that contrast and to rise, to no longer be a victim, but to make new choices that are powerful and change our experience from that place of power, from those distinctions and those discernments. So this energy is important now. As we move forward, it's like, okay, this is the springboard, the contrast, the hard stuff. It's pushing us. Will we go to sleep or will we wake up and make something new from it? The present card is the card of competition, 5 of Wands. And as we well know, Wands is about creativity. It's about inspiration. It's about passion. This is about having the wherewithal to stand our ground about what we care about. To, in the face of challenge, to be able to just say, hey, I disagree with you. I have this perspective on it. What's interesting is we are here to have our own unique experience. But having a unique experience means that we're going to be different than those people around us and different than other people on the planet. Fundamentally, we're all the same. We're all human beings. We have the same physiology and the same desires and hopes and dreams. And in many ways, we all aspire to something higher. But we're not here to do it the same way. We're not all here to be the same. We're going to have the contrast of life. And as it comes through us, we're going to have a new distinction as a result of it. And mine might be different than yours, going through something similar. We're not here to do it the same. We're not here to all be the same. So coming back to this idea of our diversity serves us. We are better served as humanity when we recognize that we're not the same. We don't all want the same things, and we can't all get squished into the same hole because we're not all here to do the same stuff. And this card is saying, hey, it's okay to stay in your passion, in what you love, in staying congruent and lined up with what brings you to more life. Your yes, that's your work. Even if those around you may not understand, that's okay because they're here having their own yes and doing their own thing, or at least that's what they're supposed to be doing. Our purpose is to find our yes, to discover our yes, and to say yes to our yes. And as we move in that direction, as you know, we find more of what we love. We find more of our people. We find more opportunities that light us up and excite us. We turn the dial up on our life experience. That's what the yes is, that collection of shiny things we can't help ourselves. We just want to go hang out there all day long. And those things are shiny. It's because that's where life wants us. That's why it's compelling. It's what we set out to do in this life. So this card is saying it's okay that others don't necessarily get what we're about. We're not here to please anyone else. We're here to have our experience. We're here to find our people. We're here to do our creating. We're here to add our unique spice to the flavor of life, to this incredible experience of being human at this time on this planet. We're not all the same, and that's a beautiful and important and precious thing, because that diversity of perspective is where our solutions are coming from for the problems that we face. The near future, romance, 2 of hearts. This is a wonderful card, this energy of moving towards greater harmony. In partnership, we're not the same. We don't choose our partner because they're just like us. We often choose our partner because they have aspects that we love, that spark us, that bring us new perspective and new joy and new experiences. And it's inspiring and exciting and interesting and different. To have polarity in relationship, you need a masculine and a feminine in polarity. You need the yin and the yang. That, if in a magnetic pole, you have the positive and the negative. That's the quality of what creates romance or attraction or that energizing aspect. This is what we're moving into. This sort of space of partnership with ourselves, first and foremost, having that right relationship within of our internal masculine and feminine, because we all have both. And it's false for us to think that we're only female or we're only male. We have both polarities. We are of the human family. We may have a female body and we may run a lot of male energy because we live in a male world and that's what's been encouraged. And we can start to see that and understand that and decide, is that really what I want? Or do I want to run a different kind of energy in my field? But ultimately, right relationship starts within. We have to be in right relationship with ourselves to love ourselves enough, to take care of ourselves, to listen to our yes, to rise from being a victim and to say, yeah, you know what? I'm worth more than this. Yes, that terrible thing happened and I'm going to still live my life beautifully. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to be a victim for the rest of my life. I'm going to choose to rise. And that's very important. And when we're in right relationship with ourselves, we're in right relationship to life. How we treat ourselves is what we'll be expecting from others. So if we're really crappy with ourselves, you can expect your relationships with others not to go so well. It starts within. Everything starts within. So entering into that right relationship with self, harmonizing the internal balance of the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, whatever you want to call it, coming home to ourselves and being in love with ourselves, being in love with life. Then we pull in magnificently from the outer world. Incredible people, incredible experiences, incredible opportunities, tremendous beauty, tremendous upliftment and possibility. We do all that from stepping into more love and gratitude and appreciation and right relationship with ourselves and right self-care, so that we are at our healthiest and best, so that we can rise and be all that we're here to be and be the best partner to life that we can be. You know, thinking about life as that, the beloved, and how do we do life better together? Because it sure is more fun when we're in that kind of a relationship with life rather than seeing it as the adversary and that we have to fight it. And here we have the 6 of Wands. The card is victory and the position is the foundation. It's why we're having the reading this week. How will we be victorious? Well, by this rising, by not staying in a victim state, by claiming our space, by standing our ground, by following our yes, even if others don't understand it, understanding that our uniqueness is an essential ingredient to the harmony of the whole, and that we need to hear various perspectives because that's where the solutions are found. You may have found the solution to one of the biggest problems we've ever faced, but if you don't express it, how will we know? How will we have the benefit of your wisdom, of your knowledge, of your gifts, of your talents? And yet it can be scary to speak up, especially in a world that tends to vilify people who maybe are of a different perspective. But that diversity is our power. And we don't need to shove it down anybody else's throat. We can just be our truth. We can just express our truth. And that, I think, is our great opportunity right now, is learning how to be neutral with others, but authentic and true to ourselves, so that we don't expect anybody else to become just like us. They don't have to adopt our same perspective. But so long as there's respect in hearing everyone's way of looking at things, so that we can collectively come to the best solution possible, that is a very powerful place to be. This near future, this right relationship with ourselves, this is what we're moving towards. Right relationship with ourselves gives us a lot of power. It gives us greater opportunity to attract all that we want into our experience when we are in right relationship with ourselves, when we take good care of ourselves, when we're sleeping well, when we have good sleep, when we're in love with ourselves. Not in an egotistic way, but in a generous, kind, and self-supportive way. Being good to ourselves. And then from that place, we have a full cup and we can be good to others. We can be in right relationship to others because we have that inside of our own buildings. And then this foundation, this victory. Why? What do we need to know about being victorious? That follow that inspiration. Follow the joy, follow the light, follow the enthusiasm. Where is the highest enthusiasm in this moment? And continually coming back to that question. Where's my highest enthusiasm? And it doesn't have to be cloud nine. It can simply be, I want potatoes rather than rice. That's my enthusiasm tonight. And if you're not doing carbs, well, it'll be something else. Is it sweet peas or roses? Is it a walk? Is it a nap? Is it a song? Is it silence? Whatever that is, whatever brings you to that happy, excited, joyous place, that's where the energy needs to flow. That's the yes. The yes is where the highest enthusiasm is. So paying attention to that will serve to guide this whole journey. And as I said, this devil here is such a gift. All of the challenges that we face are pushing us to grow. And we have to choose to rise. That's where character building comes from. That's how we become who we become, is by facing the adversity in our life and overcoming it. We grow. We learn who we are, what we're capable of. And that makes us strong and clear and courageous and powerful. And it's where our power is. And I feel like there's something here that's been lost of late. People are claiming victimhood and wearing it like a badge. That's their identity. And I don't know that that really is serving any of us, because when we don't rise, we're not making our best offering to life. How can we make our best contribution if we feel we're not good enough, or we're reduced to being an identity based on an oppression or a thing that went wrong? And I understand that we all have our experiences of oppression, and it's different for all of us, and some are pretty darn horrendous. And it's an opportunity. So if we can just reframe it and just say, okay, what do I know now? I went through this really, really, really terrible, horrendous thing. What do I know? Well, I know I want it to be different. This is not how I want to be for the rest of my life. I want to be an agent for love, for light, for kindness, for beauty, for harmony, for more wonder, more well-being, more health and wholeness. That is passion. That is inspiring. That is joyful. And that is where we can come from to make our highest contribution to this beautiful world, this beautiful life we're in relationship with. So I hope this reading makes sense. Let's pull our card to grow on, shall we? I had heard from a few people that they like the card to grow on. And so we'll pull one this week. And so the card to grow on, creator, we'd like to pull a card to grow on to summarize the energy and intention of this week's information, so we can succinctly carry it in our consciousness and make good use of all that we've explored here in service to our good and the good of everyone whose life we touch through our skills, our abilities, our presence, in service to more love and light. We have the victory card again. Six of Wands. So it's all about rising. It's all about this jubilant. We have this jubilant rider, even has this like crazy feather flying off the back of the head, on a horse, leaping the flames, leaping the adversity. It's this joy-filled, high energy, enthusiastic place to be. Think victorious. How would you feel when you're victorious? What is that? What is that like? How does that resonate in your body when I say you are victorious? It really is about this incredible energy of rising, of being more, of overcoming an obstacle and coming out the other side in wonderful ways. So this is our card to grow on this week. What does it feel like to be victorious? What does it feel like? What does it mean to be victorious in our lives? And you might have a very different definition than I do. But exploring that will help us to stay on target in our lives. And I would encourage this not to be a material victoriousness, but an emotional and a mental and a spiritual victoriousness. And I mean, yes, if it's to become healthier and stronger, wicked, that's cool. Totally get it. But more this victoriousness of spirit, of becoming more, of that rising, of that spreading of our energy, of that unfurling of our wings, of becoming that glorious, radiant being that we're here to become. So exploring this idea of victory, being victorious, of rising in our lives, of embodying this incredible yes energy and being lined up with our highest enthusiasm and going from strength to strength, from opportunity to opportunity. Yes, having a challenge. Yes, facing it. Yes, overcoming it and integrating that learning and that lesson in our experience so that we move on to more. It is incredibly energizing. And of course, up here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the season of summer. It is the season of summer, of high energy. It's the energy of the heart in traditional Chinese medicine. It's the time of the heart. It's the time of joy. It's the time of fire. It's the time of all of this kind of quality of energy. And so we can make use of this time to amplify this aspect in ourselves, because winter's going to come. And with it is that inward going, that quieter inward time, which our friends in the Southern Hemisphere are living right now. And it's all important. It's the seasonal aspect of this life experience. But when the sun is shining, you make hay. And then when it's raining and snowing, you go inside and you make hot chocolate and you knit stuff and you have a beautiful life experience inside. And you dream of the summer to come. It's all beautiful and perfect and harmonious if we give ourselves permission to live that way. We are victorious. We're here on earth having this incredible experience, transforming the opposition that we find, using the contrast that we're experiencing to clarify what we want so that we can victoriously transform it into something that will serve us far, far better. And we're doing this as brilliant, unique, sparkling individuals, adding our unique spiciness to the collective mix, and together crafting something much bigger and better than we can alone. Victorious life. And so I hope that helped. Let's close our eyes and let's take a nice deep breath in, pulling the wisdom and the energy, this very high, victorious energy into our fields. Just sitting with that. Where does it sit in your body? Victory, victoriousness. For me, I'm finding it around my heart, this gorgeous energy of fire. And of course, the heart is connected to the fire element, so it makes sense. And giving ourselves permission to just be there for a while, basking in the energy of victory, victoriousness, living the victorious life. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, and we have just finished the reading of the week for July 10th to the 17th, 2026. I love doing these readings, and I am so grateful to each and every individual who comes and adds their energy to mine across time and space as we co-create these readings together. bringing through that which will be most helpful and in service to our good at this time, at this incredible unfolding on earth that we have chosen to come for. Help us to stay lined up with our yes, to stay lined up with our passion, our purpose, our joy, our victoriousness, knowing that our purpose is to discover our yes and say yes to our yes, whatever that might be. And for each individual, it will be very, very different. And that difference is a blessing. I am so grateful to all those who come and help to hold this space every week. I am so grateful to the organizing intelligences of the lands where we are as we do these readings and where we live. It feels very important to enter into right relationship with the earth at this time through the representative, if you will, or that smaller organizing intelligence of her, where you live. The day in, day out relationship that you have with that place is very, very, very important. So take a moment to just acknowledge your home and the land that your home finds itself in, and the energy behind that, the intelligence behind it, that is sheltering and supporting and holding and encouraging and protecting. And if it doesn't feel like that way, like it, ask for that from the organizing intelligence of that place. Permission to be there, permission to be cared for, permission to enter into right relationship with that energy. Because all of life is energy, and it's all about our intention. That's how we create and co-create with life and this universe and this physical existence, is through our intention and the energy of all things. So help us to have right perspective on this, Creator, to come home to ourselves, to enter into right relationship within, so we are in right relationship with you and with all life everywhere. Harmonious, congruent, lined up with our yes, and seeing and affirming and evoking the highest and best in everyone that we meet, and calling them into their yes, into their highest and most glorious and victorious expression, so that we may all rise together and have the best experience possible, co-creating a glorious world for everyone's highest and greatest good. Thank you, Creator. Thank you. Once again, this reading is complete, and I will look forward to seeing you next Friday. If you would like your very own reading with me, I am available for that. The link is down below under the video. My website is www.titania.ca. The link is there also for booking if you'd like to have an online reading. And if you're local, well, I'd love to see you in person. Much love and light, everybody. Keep rising, keep shining. Hold that victorious energy. Let it burst and open up in your chest and expand your heart out to connect the heart in all things. I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Much love and light until then. Take care. Bye for now.